Hello. Today we're going to talk about water rights. Here in Utah, it's a big deal because we're the desert. Water is so important, and especially in building and actually some homes that have already been built, whether or not they're going to have their water turned off. So a big issue about water, and that's what we're going to talk about today. First, I want to talk about the history. The pioneers came across and they were trying to get away from all their persecution, and so they were in Illinois and Ohio and all those different places that had plenty of water. And then they get to Utah and they're probably a third of what they're used to, maybe even a quarter of what they're used to in the water. So they had to decide how they were going to handle water in this territory, in this state. And they decided that nobody was going to own the water, and the government issues and makes sure that it's used for its best use. So that's how it's come about. So no matter if you have lived by a lake, or if you live by a stream, or if you have a well or anything like that, you do not own the water. You have a water right. And that's how it works in Utah. So we're going to go over that in this video so you can have a better understanding, because this is very important if you are buying property and you're buying water. There are many things that you want to pay close attention to so you get what you need and you can use it the way that you had planned to use it. Utah Code 73-1-11. As time has gone on, they are now having you prove that you're using the water on an ongoing basis. And then when the water is transferred, you have to state on the application what you're going to use it for. And we'll get into that because water rights have different things like agriculture, cattle, or home. One good thing about the way Utah does the water rights is that it is considered real property. So it can be bought and sold like real estate, but it is a little bit different. So if you're an agent, you have to be aware of this. And even if you're a buyer, you need to make sure that the water you're getting is in the place that you need it. The most important thing about the water right is your date, the date of your water right. So the first one in gets priority. So what that means is the older the water right, the better. Because if there's a drought and the state needs to start pulling back on water, the newer ones get pulled first. So if you have a water right in the 1800s, you're probably going to be okay. Where if you have a water right in 1973, that one's going to get pulled and turned off first. If you have a well and you've been getting water and you have an old water right, you have the rights to it, but if you didn't drill down far enough and the aquifer has dropped, you still have your right to the water, you just have to drill down some more. So it doesn't determine that you can keep getting it. I mean, you can keep getting it, but you just have to drill down further to get it. When you're looking at your water right, by the numbers, you'll know which region you're in and which basin you are. And that's what I was talking about. You need to make sure you have the water right for where you want to build or have the water. Because if you bought water in a different region than where you're going to build, you can't transfer it. You have to buy the water in the region that you are building or wanting to use that water. There is an interactive map online. I'll put it in the description on seeing which basins and regions that you're in, so you can kind of see more details about the water. Another thing to consider is that there are water rights and then there's water shares. And you need to know the difference and what you have or what you're buying. A water right may give you the option to drill a well, where a water share is you're part of a community, and so there's a water company that has all the water rights together, and then you just have a share of that company. That's what the difference is. There are some very important things to remember when you're buying water with land. It doesn't automatically transfer. You must make sure that you get the deed transferred with the county and also with the water division from the state. Also, never assume that the water will automatically transfer. You have to make sure you have that water right number and that it is transferred properly. Okay, let me tell you how to find and check on your water rights, okay? Even if you're not gonna sell it, if you have water rights, it's good to check. If you're looking to sell or buy, this is how you're going to look up your water rights, okay? You're gonna go to the Utah Division of Water Rights, and their website is waterrights, with an S, .utah.gov. Another thing to remember if you're buying water rights with land, sometimes water rights can take up to 90 days. So you want to plan accordingly to get that transferred over. Hopefully the seller already has all the info and everything, but just remember, plan 90 days. And as an agent, you need to be really careful on timing with all of that, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about wells. I know a lot of families have wells and they share the well because they each have water rights and they're just going to pull from there. Word of warning, make sure you have a shared well agreement. Even if it's family, trust me, there are stories where things have gone wrong. Your father-in-law doesn't want you to move, he can put a stop to it if you're both in the shared and he has control. Like, there are stories. So hire an attorney, it's worth the money to have a shared well agreement so you can use your water right if you need to pull it out of a well if it's shared. When you're buying and selling water, most title companies don't have title insurance for water, so you need to make sure that you put something in the addendum or something stating that, or check with the title company to see what they offer. That's a big deal. So make sure you have all your ducks in a row when you're buying and selling water. There's so much more to water. This is just touching the tip of the iceberg. So if you want to know more about water or you have some more questions, leave some comments below. I can make some more water videos if you want, because there is a lot more about water. These are the high priority things I wanted you to know about. I hope it helps. This is water for the state of Utah. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.